Hey everybody, this is Andy, and today I'm reading through chapter 34 in the book of Genesis. We have some crazy stuff going on here. We have mass circumcisions of guys who are adults, adult men, getting their penises cut. We have a sex crime. It's a lot of stuff that you would come to expect in the Old Testament. Craziness. Now you may have noticed that I have my special semi-Jesus beard going on here. Yes, and I decided to do the goatee for a short period of time. It all matters if my girlfriend allows me. Not allows me. It all matters if she likes it over the long term. Right now I have my Jesus. I consider this kind of like my Jesus robe with me. It could be a Jesus robe. It could be a dark Sith Lord robe. Maybe a Jedi robe too. I don't know. I thought it would go for the occasion with my beard. So hey, without any more ado, we will go with the book of Genesis, chapter 34. Let's do it. Dinah and the Shechemites. Shechemites. The town of Shechem is supposed to be one of the early capitals of the northern kingdom. You have the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom, Judea down there in the south, and I guess Shechem was one of the early capitals or main cities, main towns of the northern kingdom. Dinah and the Shechemites. Now Dinah, the daughter Leah had borne to Jacob, went out to visit the women of the land. When Shechem, son of Hamor the Hivite, the ruler of the area, saw her, he took and raped her. His heart was drawn to Dinah, daughter of Jacob. He loved the young woman and spoke tenderly to her. And Shechem said to his, I think this entire rendition of the story would be very different from Dinah's point of view about the speaking tenderly after the forced rape. Forced rape, that's insane, because that's like jumbo shrimp. Of course it's a forced rape, Andy Hall. What do you think it is? All right. Let's just get back to the story. And Shechem said to his father Hamor, "Get me this girl as my wife." Now you would think this isn't a problem. If you're acquainted with Old Testament law, it's okay for a man who raped someone to marry them. However, this person in question is not Jewish, so that particular law does not apply to this person. When Jacob heard that his daughter Dinah had been defiled, his sons were in the fields with his livestock, so he did nothing about it until they came home. Then Shechem's father Hamor went to talk with Jacob. Meanwhile, Jacob's sons had come in from the fields as soon as they heard what had happened. They were shocked and furious. The Bible might be downplaying the shocked and furious, at least the furious part. But we're going to see how furious they were. They're getting into some kind of weird Pulp Fiction area here. But we'll get to that. Because Shechem had done an outrageous thing in Israel by sleeping with Jacob's daughter, a thing that should not be done. But Hamor said to them, "My son Shechem has his heart set on your daughter, and to marry with us. Give us your daughters, and take our daughters for yourselves. You can settle among us. The land is open to you. Live in it, trade in it, and acquire property in it." Then Shechem said to Dinah's father and brothers, "Let me find favor in your eyes, and I will give you whatever you ask. Make the price for the bride and the gift I am to bring as great as you like, and I'll pay whatever you ask me. Only give me the young woman as my wife." Because their sister Dinah had been defiled, Jacob's sons replied deceitfully. Deceitful as fuck, as we will see. As they spoke to Shechem and his father Hamor, they said to them, "We can't do such a thing. We can't give our sister to a man who is not circumcised. That would be a disgrace to us. We will enter into an agreement with you on one condition only." What is that condition, you may ask me? Well, that's not in the Bible. I'm just embellishing it. "That you become like us by circumcising all your males. Then we will give you our daughters and take your daughters for ourselves. We'll settle among you and become one people with you. But if you will not agree to be circumcised, we'll take our sister and go." The proposal seemed good to Hamor and his son Shechem, the young man who was the most honored of all in his father's family. If he was the most honored of all in his father's family and he's going around raping, that's a very bad lot there. Lost no time in doing what they said, because he was delighted with Jacob's daughter. So Hamor and his son Shechem went to the gate of their city to speak to the men of their city. "These men," speaking about Jacob's sons, "these men are friendly toward us," they said. "Let them live in our land and trade in it. The land has plenty of room for them. We can marry their daughters and they can marry ours. But the men will agree to live with us as one people, only on the condition that our males be circumcised, as they themselves are. Won't their livestock, their property, and all their other animals become ours? So let us agree on their terms, and they will settle among us." So they're trying to sell the idea about every single dude in the town getting circumcised by saying, "Hey, look at all the stuff we're going to gather. Look at all the stuff we're going to get. Their stuff will become our stuff will become their stuff. Everyone's going to be happy." All the men who went out of the city gate agreed with Hamor and his son Shechem, and every male in the city was circumcised. 3 days later, while all of them were still in pain, 2 of Jacob's sons, Simeon and Levi, Dinah's brothers, took their swords and attacked the unsuspecting city, killing every male. I guess you really can't put up a fight when you're still suffering from being circumcised. They put Hamor and his son Shechem to the sword and took Dinah from Shechem's house and left. The sons of Jacob came upon the dead bodies and looted the city where their sister had been defiled. They seized their flocks and herds and donkeys and everything else of theirs in the city and out in the fields. They carried off all their wealth and all their women. And you know what happened to the women, right? Sex slaves, at least the hot ones, right? Maybe not even the hot ones. I don't know. Sex slavery was a very popular thing. Look at some previous episodes, some previous videos, and you'll see that sex slavery was popular back then. They carried off all their wealth and all their women and children, taking as plunder everything in the houses. Then Jacob said to Simeon and Levi, "You have brought trouble on me by making me obnoxious to the Canaanites and the Perizzites, the people living in this land. We are few in number, and if they join forces with me and attack me, I and my household will be destroyed." Now here's the thing. Jacob's issue with the gathering of slaves, with the killing of all the dudes in that town, even the guys that had nothing to do with the crime. They had nothing to do with the crime. The street sweepers. The street sweepers to this town, they had nothing. They just went along just to get along, right? The town elders gave them a good deal, or so they thought, and they said, "Hey, we will just, I'll get circumcised." And 3 days later, they're killed. And Jacob doesn't have a problem with this. He doesn't have a moral qualm. It's more like the pragmatic aspects of it. Look, my reputation is horrible now. Thank you very much. My reputation is horrible. People are going to gang up on me because they know that we slaughtered the entire town after we had them cut their penises. That's great. Thank you. But they replied, and they, meaning Jacob's sons, "Should he have treated our sister like a prostitute?" And that's a mic drop moment. Bam! That's a mic drop moment in the Old Testament. Like, everything they did was justified because one dude, one family treated their sister like a prostitute. Not very advanced moral reasoning there. This story gets played out later on in terms of blessings of sons, because of course it's an Old Testament thing that a father gives his blessings, and there are different levels of blessings. So perhaps the 2 gentlemen here, the 2 brothers, aren't going to get as blessed as some of the other sons. I don't know. We'll find out. Thanks for watching. I guess we'll get back together and look at chapter 35. Very exciting stuff. Thanks a lot. Thanks again for watching. Upvote if you want to upvote. Subscribe if you want to subscribe. Upscribe. That's a word, isn't it? That could be a word. We can upvote and subscribe. Upscribe. So you can upscribe if you want to. Thanks again. Take care. Bye.
My daughter came home the other day. It's been a couple of years since the song. She's now 12. And she said, Dad, I came up and I discovered something today. I came up with the Atheist's cross. All right. Show me what the Atheist's cross is. She says, okay. Put your hands behind your back. Like this.